Okay, hello. Thank you for joining me for this last session of the day. I know I'm standing between you and your dinner plans, so I'm not trying to do this faster than necessary, but I will try not to hold you up too late. This session is a refactor to hook, or object-oriented hooks, less magic and more dependency injection. First about me, I'm Fabian Bircher. I'm a senior software engineer for Nuvole. And Nuvole is a company that works mostly for NGOs and non-governmental institutions. We work with the World Food Programme, with the International Labour Organization, and the European Commission, and others. So first, I guess this is a rhetorical question at the Drupal Dev Days, but what is a hook? And this session is also basically summarized by the documentation page on Drupal.org. I will try to go into a little bit more details and explain all of the things and show you how to use it, rather. But the hooks are a core part of Drupal since the very early days. And in 20 years, the hooks have been procedural functions that live in the .module file, or in some other files too. But basically, it's a way to extend Drupal, extend how Drupal behaves. So you don't change the index.php, but you create hooks, and then Drupal will call your code in various places to do various things, and you can alter a lot of things. This session was basically prompted 1 year ago in the Drupal Dev Days in Leuven, when the Q&A with Dries, there was a question about the cool new thing that's happening that doesn't get enough attention, and Dries said that there's this interesting new thing that's called hooks as classes, and that he hasn't heard much talk about it. And I thought, that's such a shame, because I was super excited about this change. And I've been using hooks as classes already for a long time before it was in Drupal core with the contrib module. And, but now everybody needs to use it actually very soon. So first, what is an attribute? There's maybe a little bit confusing. When I try to explain to friends like what is this all about, I often confuse the words. An attribute is a PHP 8 language feature, and it kind of looks like a PHP 7 comment, and that's on purpose because PHP 7 will not interpret it, and it's just a comment. But it's a way for your code to be to have machine-readable metadata for classes, methods, functions, parameters, properties, and constants. And it's a declarative way to annotate code with metadata. And annotate, you see, previously we were using annotations, and annotations is the same, but it's actually, from a PHP language perspective, a comment. And we were just parsing the comments and extracting this data. And in PHP 8, there's a native way to do this. So everybody is moving to this new, I don't know if it's new anymore, but yeah, it's the way to do it in PHP. For a lot of the things, I included QR codes, but they're just basically the links that is also on the bottom of the page. I will try to share the slides then later on as well. So some of the examples for PHP attributes: the sensitive parameter, allow dynamic properties, override, return type will change, and deprecated. These are attributes that you can add, and they change a little bit the behavior of how PHP runs the code. For example, the sensitive parameter is added in the hash and check methods for the password interface, and this means that the password will not be visible in stack traces. Who is familiar with attributes? Okay, some, so not all, but this is a very important concept. So attributes are basically classes in Drupal as well, so you can define your own attributes, and this is exactly what we already do in Drupal since PHP 8, since Drupal 10.2 and to 11.2. We went from hook to plugins already in Drupal 8, and the plugins went from annotations to attributes in the current versions of Drupal. So instead of having the plugin as a comment or the plugin definition, you have it in a attribute, in a plugin attribute. And this transition will be required in Drupal 13. So you can still do the plugin with the comment, with the annotation, but the annotation parser is from Doctrine that we already forked because it's already not supported anymore, and so like Drupal will stop doing that as well. So in Drupal 13, only the attribute plugins will work. Yeah, so the concept of attributes, like for example on a block plugin, it looks like this. It looks the same if you use the block in Drupal 8 before. It would be, you know, just in a comment in curly brackets and so on. And now it looks like this. You will note you can also have new translatable markup, so you can call constructors of other things in there as well. So back to hooks. There are a couple of problems with procedural hooks. I mean, they're great. They've been around for 20 years, so like, but they have this magic name, right? So it's the module name and then the hook name with underscores. But the module name can be anything, and the hook name can be anything. And so if you have a module name that ends with the beginning of another hook, then they can conflict and they can clash, and then it's ambiguous, and then you don't know, is this the module that implements that hook, or is it the other module that implements the other hook? And you cannot have dependency injection, which makes it harder to write tests. So, I mean, to circumvent this, you can always have, like, in your hook just one line and call some service to do things. That's what we've been doing since early days of Drupal 8. The other thing is all functions in a .module file are always loaded, and so all of the hooks are always in a PHP. There was some effort to make all of the hooks into event subscribers, and in fact, a lot of new things that have been added to Drupal 8, they were not added as hooks, but as event subscribers. And a lot of hooks have had also event subscribers that are kind of like doing the same thing at the same time. But there was a lot of effort went into this, but also it means like event subscribers behave a little bit different, and there's more boilerplate than just a hook. And especially dynamic hooks don't work as well. So, and also it's much more difficult to have optional event subscribers when the class that you have doesn't exist because it's optional. So you have to fall back to strings and in a Drupal 7 hook, you know, it's just a magic function and it's just there, but it will never be called, so it's okay. And event subscribers behave differently. They can be stopped, so it's not like this one-to-one conversion that you can just take every hook and put it in an event subscriber. But what do we want? We want classes with dependency injection for easier testing. We want less ambiguity. We want as little boilerplate as possible, so auto-wiring for a container. And a straightforward conversion from the previous system, or as straightforward as possible. To have optional hooks and reordering and so on. There's two change records that are very important. The one is support object-oriented hook implementations using auto-wired services. And the second one is hooks in themes can now be object-oriented. That slide is different from the DrupalCon Vienna session, because back then the themes could not have object-oriented hooks. Now they can. Yeah, so how do you implement a hook? You have a method. You have this hook annotation on it. And you can have it directly on the method, or you can have it on the class itself. If you can have it on the class itself with a method, or you can have it on the class without any method, but then have the class have an invoke method. So these are all options that are equally hooks in Drupal 10 and 11 and so on. Then you can also have multiple hooks and only one function. So in the past, you would have a function and then call these functions from several hooks. And now you can just have the same method with several hooks. Like you just have several annotations on the same method, and therefore this method will be implementing several hooks. I mean, of course, the different hooks, they should pass the same parameters to the method. I mean, yes, obviously, but you get the point. Then another important thing that we want to have is ordering. There was a hook for altering the hooks. and in order not to alter hooks, basically the thing that people did with this is to change the order, to say my hook goes last, or my hook goes first, or my hook goes after some other hook. And all of this you can do as well. You can do either the simple way and just say like the order is, it goes first or last, or you can add the order, you can say go after the other method, the other modules. You can do like mean stuff as well. If you want to go like on the entity pre-save before field encrypt, so you can like have all the raw data, for example. You can also remove hooks. That's not like you couldn't remove functions, but you could tell not to, like you could alter the hook info. And this is, you can still do that, and you just add the attribute to remove the hook from somewhere else. So you can add the help hook or the query node access alter hook, for example. Don't do that.
So I wonder if you do this, what is this annotated on?
On the other things. So you would typically, I mean, the question was where do you put this annotation? And the answer is you would put it where basically you put the other hook that replaces it, because this is meant to replace another hook. So you wouldn't just remove it, usually. I mean, the use case of this is you want to replace another module's hook, basically. That's the use case for this. So you would add the attribute on the other hook, on the class or on the method, wherever you want, like depending on how you do it. But I mean, it's for you to read also. Like you need to put it somewhere where the hook system picks it up. Of course, backwards compatibility is also an important consideration, especially for contrib modules that need to remain compatible with previous versions of Drupal 10 or 11.0. I don't know if this is so much still a concern, because the supported versions of Drupal, they have this, but it may still be a good idea to have this. And the way to do this is add this legacy hook attribute to the legacy hook. And here's an example. So in the .module file, I don't know, it's not that invisible. You would add a legacy hook attribute to the old hook. In the hook, you call the new hook, like basically like we did in Drupal 8 when we wanted to use services. And then you declare the services. In Drupal 11, the hooks are auto-wired and also like they're discovered from the hook namespace. But you can do this also explicitly for older versions of Drupal where this is not the case. And then you do it the normal way. And the two upper part is just for the legacy systems that, it doesn't hurt newer versions of Drupal that know how to do this, but the old ones, they will not read any of the attributes and just call the function. And then because the function does the Drupal service, and it will get it that way. And the system that understands how to use the attribute hooks will just ignore this one. It will see, this is a hook that, because if you don't add the legacy hook part, it will say, there's modules that are not upgraded yet, so we need to interpret their hooks, and so it will execute this normal procedural function. But if you add the legacy hook attribute, then it will know not to do that. So it's smart to exclude it this way. So this will work in both systems. And finally, performance improvement. Once you have confirmed that all of the hooks are not in the module file anymore, but are in the new attribute classes, I mean, in the new hook classes with attributes, then you can add to your services.yaml this parameter that skip procedural hook scan. Not all hooks can be implemented this way. This is the list of hooks that remains procedural, and maybe you can see like some pattern in this list. On the one hand is the install hooks, the hook install tasks and install task alter. And on the other hand, you have the update hooks. The post update name hook, obviously the hook update n as well. But the remove post updates and the update dependencies and so on. These are not like normal or regular hooks in the same sense that the other hooks are hooks, because the hook install, for example, like runs when like the module is not installed. So and the uninstall is kind of the equivalent, the opposite, like in the other direction. And install tasks is when Drupal is being installed. And so they will not, like if Drupal moves away from those, they will not become normal hooks either. And so, for example, for the updates, there's an idea to use something similar as Laravel does, the migrations. And they're like, migrations in Drupal is already taken, so it will be something else. But the same concept. Symfony also does it for database updates. And then there's the legacy hooks. The hook info is the one I was talking about. This is replaced by all the ordering stuff. Hook module implements alter also, like this you would do for making your thing go after the other. And the hook requirements is interesting because it's replaced by new hooks and also something else. So the hook requirements used to be used for 3 different things: the runtime requirements, the update requirements, and the install requirements. And the first 2, for runtime and update, they have become normal hooks. So you implement them with hook runtime requirements. And the install requirements, you do that by implementing a class, or by creating a class that implements the install requirements interface. And you put it in a special place, and you cannot use any of the services from your module, basically, because this class is loaded before the module is installed, because it needs to check whether it can install the module. And so, yeah, it's to solve this problem, you cannot you cannot have services from a module available when the module is not installed. But this is similar to the container. What is it called? When you can modify the container also in a similar way. There's a special class that gets called, and you can mess with the unfinished container this way. Anyway, yes, that's great. So, and another interesting one is the template preprocess hooks, because themes can also now do the object-oriented hooks. And if you, like the normal hook theme is the normal hook, but the template preprocess hooks are a little bit different. And rather than magically named functions, these are now callbacks in the hook theme, defining the hook. We will see this later, because this interesting gotcha, I think. Yeah, and refactoring 2 hooks. Let me see, just hang. Yes. So I wanted to make this in like a big explanation on how to do this, but then shortly before, like when I was already preparing this presentation, Joachim wrote a blog post. So rather than copying it again, I'm inviting you to read this excellent blog post. The most important things are on this screen. You require the Drupal director, and you run it, and magic will happen. And yeah, let's check this out, because you know, on a evening we can try to see how this works. Yes. And now I'm going to use the other microphone. Wait, maybe turn it off. Yeah. So I have my setup. I already set it up. I don't want to bore you seeing Composer download all of the stuff. It's a fairly straightforward project setup. You know, it's normal Drupal stuff. It has Drupal core dev, so that we have PHP unit and PHP code sniffer. And I already ran the Drupal director composer command, the first one in on the slide. And I have some modules that we're going to run this on. The one is called the file link, and the other one is called read-only mode, and they're both interesting in their own way. So let's look at the read-only mode. For example, it has a couple of hooks here. Help hook, entity type alter, yeah. Form ID, yeah, form, okay, good. Submission, and config translation ID, info alter. Okay, not so complicated, but a few hooks. Now let's see what we have here. This is the project, and it's running ddef, but I will run the commands without ddef because I have Docker relay, so like I can run PHP and it runs it in the ddef container. It's just faster for me. So let's go here. I copy up. No, I want to. Can I not? No. Okay. So I copy paste this one here. Okay. Let's go see. Where is it? Vector. Here. This is the file that we just copy pasted. Rector config. We don't need that. And instead, we want this one here. This is to make hooks into new hooks. All right. The rest we just leave it as is, default, all good. Okay. Then what did I say? Rector process path to module. Okay. Copy paste, and then we have web modules contrib read only mode. Okay. Maybe it will work. Hopefully. Okay. And it spits out all of the things that it did. Lots of hooks it found. Lots of things it changed. Let's go check it. So we have read-only mode.module. You can see it does the legacy hook thing, and it returns the service, like this read-only hooks class. And entity, yeah, looks good, huh? The form submission method is still here. Okay, we have to do something with that. It has this service, okay. Good, that was also in the slide. And I guess there's this new file. Look at this, all of the hook code is here, great. So the only thing we have to do is change this submit. So we take the module here, we copy paste, or we don't copy paste, we cut and paste. Paste, public. We should probably make this also like we want. Okay, and then we do this. Okay. So, yeah, okay. This should work. Let's go see. So this is our site. Maybe we need to. I forgot. We should also check. Wait. Did I delete this? Maybe I did. No. Okay. Web modules. Lots of warnings, but we can fix those. Okay, great. All coding standards good. Let's check it again. Ah, look, it looks like it should. Excellent. Garage. So the read-only mode. Oh, did we not found? Did I forget to do this? Oh. Ah, the demo gods. Ha! Forgot to do my sacrifice. Ay, ay, ay. What happened now? Huh? Class name is wrong. Maybe. I tested this just before just to make sure. Okay, not found. Why is he not finding it? Okay. Okay, this is supposed to work. Why is it not working? It's probably something stupid. Maybe something I did before testing and then I messed it up. I don't know. Okay. Let's try this again. No. Okay, I will have to. It's probably something silly. I don't know.
Reduce statement there.
Yeah, it should be. What did I remove? Yeah, is it the same? No. No, it's the same. I went back and forth when I tested this, and I didn't refresh the cache before doing this render thing. So maybe I did something wrong there. Ah, that's a shame. But that's how demos go sometimes. You prepare it? No, I'm sure it happened before because I prepared a demo and then I reset something. I forgot to reset something, but I don't know yet. I don't know now what, and I told you before that I don't want to keep you longer for dinner. So, yeah, the other refactor that I wanted to show you from the other module, but like we will not get into it. Because the other important thing now is to also run tests, of course. to make sure this also works. And I cannot show you now. It worked before, but yeah, this is very unfortunate. But anyway, the other part that I wanted to show you also, in the other module, we have this theme hook and the template preprocessing. And so maybe instead of showing you this, I will just show you how this is, or maybe I already opened it here. Yeah. Instead of having the template preprocess block like this, you add it like this as an initial preprocess, and then it works the same way. You can also copy paste like we did with the submit function, or the submit hook, where we just took the function and copy pasted it into our hook class. You do the same also for the theme hook, and you just you copy paste the function here and you place it here, and then you add it here. Yeah, but also we're almost out of time. And yeah, I guess thank you for for your attendance. And I'm sorry the demo didn't go according to plan. I tried it twice and then oh well, next time I guess I should record it. Yes. Do you have questions? Where's dinner? Yes.
Maybe it's very specific, but you say that there are some hooks that should be still hooks, like the install and that kind of hooks. But at the same time, there is a setting to skip the processing of the hooks in the source code, that it's a performance improvement.
Exactly.
But it should.
Yeah, but these hooks, they live in a separate file. They live in the .install file and in the .up. The .install file.
Okay, so it's still scan, but it's scan less files.
Yeah, so the .install file is not usually loaded on a normal Drupal site, like when on a normal request. It's only loaded into memory when you're installing something, and so or uninstalling or updating, and so they are still there, but they don't have any impact on a normal site.
Okay, thank you.